Come to the next on accrued income. Accrued income. Accrued income means income is earned, but the amount of that income is not yet received till the end of the financial year. Suppose financial year is 1st April, start from 1st April 2019 and it is going to close on 31st March 2020. This is our financial year. In this financial year, company has given one building as a rent. Company has given one building as rent to the tenant, and tenant has not paid the amount to the company for the month of January, February and March 2020. This 3 months rent is not paid by the tenant to the company. Then that rent which is earned by the company but the amount is not yet received, that rent is called accrued rent. Accrued rent. Rent is earned by the company because the tenant has availed or has used that building, but the rent of that building is not paid by the tenant to the business. So the income is earned, rent is earned, but the amount is not yet received. So that rent is called accrued rent. Similarly, accrued interest. Interest is earned, but the amount of interest is not yet received. Then it is called accrued interest. Accrued interest. Interest is earned, but the amount of that interest is not received by the business. It is called accrued interest. This accrued rent or accrued interest is the current assets. It's a current assets. Current assets for the business. Current assets. Accrued rent or accrued interest is the current assets of the business. Business has earned it, but the amount is not yet received. It means that amount will be received by the business in near future. So whatever the amount the business is going to receive in near future, that is an assets for the business point of view. And the same will be the liability. If the business is going to pay the amount in the near future, then that becomes a liability. So here the rent is earned, but the amount is not yet received. So this amount will be received by the business in near future, within the 12 months. That's why it's a current assets, comes under current assets. Next terminology is unearned income. It is also known as income received in advance. Income received in advance. It is also called income received in advance. Income received in advance means we have not earned it, but the amount is already received in advance. We have not earned, but the amount of that is received in advance by us. Okay, suppose the company has given the building as rent to the tenant, and tenant has paid the amount in advance to the company for the next financial year. Current financial year is 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020. This is the current financial year, but the tenant has given in advance the rent for the month of April, May and June 2020. Means for the next financial year, April, May and June rent is given by the tenant to the business in advance. That rent is called unearned rent. Unearned rent. This rent is actually not earned, but the amount of that rent is received in advance. Unearned rent. Okay? Unearned rent is your current liability. It is a current liability because you have received the amount in advance, so you have to give the services or provide the services to the tenant for the month of April, May and June. In these 3 months, the tenant is not going to pay the amount, and you have to provide the services for these 3 months in the next financial year. So till the end of this financial year, the amount which is received in advance, these 3 months rent, which is received in advance in this financial year become your current liability, which is called unearned rent. Unearned rent. Rent is not earned, but amount is received in advance. Unearned rent. Next terminology is your depreciation. Depreciation means decrease or fall in the value of fixed assets. Depreciation means decrease or fall in the value of fixed assets due to any reason. The reason may be continuous use, constant use, passage of time. It may be accident. It may be change in the prices. Whatever the reasons may be, if the value of assets decrease, then it is called depreciation. Every fixed assets have a certain life. Suppose we have purchased machinery for rupees 1 lakh. We know that this machinery have a life. Now we have estimated life of machine. We are expecting that, or expected life of machine is suppose 10 years. And after 10 years, the scrap value, if I am going to sell this machine at a scrap rate, so scrap value will be realized. Suppose we will realize only 10,000. Now the depreciation will be depreciation is equal to cost of machine. Depreciation is equal to cost of machine minus scrap value divided by expected life, expected or estimated life, expected life. So the cost is 1 lakh, cost of machine, scrap value is 10, expected life is 10 years, so 90,000 upon 10, so it is 9,000. It means value of machinery is decreasing every year by 9,000. By constant use, by passage of time, it may be reason of accident, change in the market value, market price, whatever the reasons may be. If the value of assets is decreasing, it is called depreciation. Fall in the value of fixed assets is known as depreciation. Depreciation is non-cash expenses. It is called non-cash expenses. For this we are not going to pay anything. Only the value of assets will decrease. And it's a revenue expenses. Depreciation is revenue expenses. And it's a non-cash expenses. It's a revenue expenses, but it's a non-cash expenses. Amount is not going to pay. Only the value of assets will decrease. Suppose the value of assets is 1 lakh. So it is decreased. First year it is decreased by 9,000. Now it is 91,000. Next year it is decreased by again 9, so it is 82,000. Decrease. The value of assets will decrease year after year because every fixed assets have a certain life. And when you divide that assets amount with that life, you will find out the for how much amount the assets value is decreasing. So the amount of depreciation means if the value of assets is decreasing due to any reason, it is called depreciation. It's a revenue expenses, but it's a non-cash expense as well. It's a non-cash expenses. To know the profit or loss, we have to taking into account the revenue expenses, depreciation as the revenue expenses, and to reflect the assets as a true value, we have to deduct the depreciation from the assets, from that particular assets in the balance sheet to know the true financial position. Next is your appreciation. Just opposite of depreciation is appreciation. Just opposite. This is appreciation. This one is appreciation. Increase in the value of fixed assets is called appreciation. However, increase in the value of the fixed assets is not recorded by us in the books of account under the conservatives principle of conservatism. We don't record the value of appreciation in our books of account under the conservatism, principle of conservatism, or you can say under the principle of prudence. Okay, so increase in the value of fixed assets. Building, if the building value is increased, building is 1 lakh and it is increased by appreciated by 20,000, then we are not going to reflect the building at 1,20,000 in the balance sheet. We are not going to reflect, and we are also not going to reflect this appreciation in the considered as a income or as a gain, because this comes under the appreciation is not going to record under the one particular principle of conservatism. Only future gain, only future losses will be recorded, but future gain is not going to record by us under the principle of conservatism. Okay, so appreciation is just opposite of depreciation.